Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to your reading for the week of June 2nd. This week, we are going to jump right in here. You have this this talisman card. It says you are destined to succeed. You have this card that says your abilities will be enhanced. So that looks amazing here, Gemini. And it looks pretty good. One thing I will say is that almost everyone has had the Ace of Swords, which is pretty funny. The Ace of Swords is a good card. It's a card of victory, success, overcoming obstacles, things like that. And the Ace of Swords is also the truth. So a lot of people, I feel, could be admitting the truth to themselves about like what they want in life or what they want to accomplish or what they want to go after. Kind of makes sense because we just had, Saturn move into Aries. We have Neptune in Aries. Aries is like the initiator. Aries is about getting started. So everyone, I think is being pushed or could be feeling the pull to start things. This reading is very good. It's very, very good. You have 3 aces in the sun, which is amazing. So the sun makes the whole entire reading more positive. But the aces are all about new beginnings. And guess what? We are in the time of new beginnings. So, a lot of you could be thinking about starting something new. The Ace of Swords is a victory, success. I would definitely, I think your words are going to be very powerful right now, Gemini. You have the strength, you go down to the strength card to the King of Wands, like literally saying your words are powerful. The strength card is the words that we say about ourselves, right? And so I think that you need to practice positive communication with yourself with the Ace of Swords. That's probably the thing that will lead to the most success with the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords can be a victory, balance, good things coming in for you. It definitely can represent a sacrifice. The sword cuts both ways. And we have this palm frond right here, this olive branch over here. Palm fronds in the tarot can represent making a sacrifice. So, and the olive branch is like an offer of peace, or it can also represent abundance. So a lot of you could be cutting something out to have something better. And we have the Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups basically is saying that it's time to walk away from something that you no longer enjoy. And we'll talk more about that in just a second. But I do feel you could be cutting something out, or you're being asked to. You have the Five of Cups again. He's grieving the loss of something that he no longer enjoys. The whole point of the Five of Cups is that he's lost his taste for wine. So he doesn't even want this wine anymore, but he's sad that he can't have wine. But if he was grateful for what he had, these 2 cups, he would also get this bridge and this castle. So the Five of Cups is about kind of releasing something that you don't even want anymore and focusing on something new, focusing on something different. And with all that energy in Aries now, I definitely feel it is time to focus towards newness, towards new things, towards bigger and better things that we can have in our life. And if we do that, we will be 1,000 times more successful. You have the Hangman. The Hangman, of course, is about being in Hangman mode. You've been getting the Hangman with me for like the past couple weeks, all of a sudden. And, again, I've said to you that this is a kind of a good Gemini card. Even though it's a Pisces card, doesn't matter. I think that this is a good card for Gemini as well, because Gemini is very good at seeing things from multiple perspectives. The Hangman is all about gaining a new perspective on your situation or seeing things from upside down. And this is allowing him to gain enlightenment on the card. What I feel for you, Gemini, is I feel like you're looking for something to excite you. It's like maybe that's what's been missing here, is it's not so much like enlightenment. Of course that could be part of it, but, I feel like you are looking for that fire to return. It's like you're looking for something that really gets you moving and, kind of lights your heart on fire, gets you excited to wake up in the morning and, take action. This could be in work, could be in business, could be in love, could be in any area of your life. But it's like, I feel like that excitement has kind of been missing with the, just everything that's kind of like going on here. And so I feel that's what you're looking for. Let's see. With the Ace of Swords, you have the Nine of Cups. Yeah, Nine of Cups is about what fulfills you. With the Nine of Cups, we have to find fulfillment. The story of the card here is that he's meant to look chubby because he is about to have a feast, but he looks chubby because he has had a feast before. The Nine of Cups can be a card of wish fulfillment, but what the card really means is that to have something, you have to have it before you can have it. And people always say, how is that possible? And I always say, well, if you want love, you have to go be in love with yourself, or go be in love with your dog, or nature. You just have to be in the energy. If you want money, you have to pretend like you are wealthy and go be around abundance, right? And if you do that, then you will get what you wish for. So the Nine of Cups is really a card of kind of matching the energy of what you're wishing for. And if you do that, you will get it. The other thing I'm getting here is that there's another meaning to the Nine of Cups, which is that this guy here is a barkeep and he is choosing who to give these cups to. And so that I never say that, but it's popping into my head for you that being very specific about who you give what to is going to be important for you as well. With the Five of Cups, you have the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is about adventure or going on adventure. And, again, I think with and maybe that's what you have to do, right? To find that spark or to return to that spark that you're looking for is, a lot of people always tell me like, oh, I don't know what makes me happy, or I don't know what I want to do with my life. And so what do I do? And I always tell those people, I'm like, well, you have to go explore. You have to go try things and see if you like them. You have to go try a hobby, try something you think you might be interested in and see what happens. And that is the Knight of Wands energy. He's just willing to go on an adventure and see what happens. And he doesn't attach anything to the outcome. And so I feel that adventuring, exploring new ways of doing things would be very helpful for you with that Knight of Wands energy. With the Hangman, you have the Ace of Wands. Told you, definitely. I literally said you have that Ace of Wands in the next row, and I was saying on that Hangman that it's like I was feeling that like desire thing, like looking for that spark or looking for something that excites you to move. The Hangman, he's like gained the enlightenment, but he's still staying stuck on this tree. This is a tree of knowledge and wisdom. So he's learned a lot, but he's still staying stuck in his position. And so that's why I said that I think you are looking for that spark or that, that thing that excites you, or getting back to excitement. And then we have the Ace of Wands, which is the spark of desire, the spark of hope, or whatever it is that you're looking for. So I kind of feel the spark could be returning here, Gemini, in your life, which is good. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Dream Catcher card. It says, pay attention to the signs, messages, and guidance that come at night. You have this Divine Intervention card. It says, angels are working behind the scenes to assist in the miracles you've requested. So, the spark could be coming from like divine guidance, or it could be coming from your dreams or your daydreams. And I would be paying attention to all that with these cards, of course. But whenever this happens, Gemini, whenever we have a card and then we start the next row with that card, I look at it like the universe is like zooming in on that card. It's giving us more detail about the Ace of Wands. So the Ace of Wands, it's coming up in the area of what's coming in for you, which is great. This is the spark that you've needed to get started. So that it could be a very inspiring week for you, or you could be getting an inspiration to move away from something. The castle in the background here is meant to look like it's crumbling. And the Ace of Wands can be out with the old in with the new. So a lot of you could be hoping or starting something new or looking to start something new in your life. And I feel that this could be that like moment of inspiration that you've been waiting for to get started on something in your life. Could be in work, business, career, love, whatever. Doesn't really matter. But it's like you're finally getting what's been missing. It's kind of what is popping into my head. You're finally returning to excitement or something. You have the Strength card. Strength is, of course, strength. Strength is like inner strength. She is getting this lion to submit to her. And so the lion kind of represents her inner critic, and she is the one that's in control of it. And, again, I think everybody's inner critic is a little bit, it's like there's just more inner critic energy right now, where it's like if we want to do something, we are probably thinking that we can't, or we're probably thinking that it's impossible. But we have to be the one to control the words that we use, and we have to make sure that we are using words that speak of strength. The Strength card is also a display of strength. She is doing something that is crazy. She is sticking her hands in this lion's mouth. So a lot of you could be kind of like showing your strength to the world by doing something that's like hard or difficult or challenging. And I would definitely encourage you to do that. I think that there could be a lot of positive attention that comes in to your life by doing something hard or difficult or challenging. You have the King of Swords. King of Swords, this could be you showing up in a very strong position. Whenever we show up as ourselves, it puts us in a position of power, strength, allows us to get what we want from the reading. So a lot of you could be getting a lot of attention because you're standing out. The King of Swords also has the most knowledge and wisdom. With the Hangman, it's kind of like you have learned a lot about life or whatever you're doing, And you could really be putting what you've learned on display. You have the sun. The sun is about getting attention as well. The sun is about standing out, or you standing out for what makes you special. And so a lot of you, could be kind of like taking action on things that you're wanting to create. And, obviously that would be good. With the Ace of Wands, you have two cards. One flew out. You have the Six of Pentacles and the Justice card. So the Six of Pentacles is about just getting started, which is kind of the trick right now with Saturn having moved into Aries. If we initiate things with Saturn and Aries, we will probably find success. So you just have to plant those seeds with the Six of Pentacles. Both cards represent balance. Both people, the Justice card and the guy in the Six of Pentacles, are holding a balance. So both cards represent paying attention to cause and effect. Like, as in, if I take an action, do I get a result? If the answer is yes, then keep going. If the answer is no, stop and do something else. It's just that simple here, Gemini. So I would make sure that you are paying attention to what's working with both of these cards. The other thing that I think is really important right now is because Neptune has moved into Aries, it's like Neptune in Pisces is just like the delusion, the fantasy, all this other stuff. Neptune in Aries, like more like the facts. So justice to me can sometimes say you have to pay attention to the evidence, not how you want things to be, but how they actually are. And so as long as you're paying attention to the evidence, things will be fine. With the Strength card, you have the Four of Cups. It's like, I feel like maybe you're wondering if you have the strength to create something with the Strength card and the Four of Cups and the Five of Cups. The Four of Cups, he has tried to manifest something at least 3 times before, and now he's getting another opportunity, but he's not accepting it because he has been disappointed 3 times before. I always say that, these 3 cups provided him with the ingredients necessary to make this new cup successful. So it basically says you have to use this new cup to be successful with the 4 cups, if that makes sense. You have to be willing to, use these to make this work. And that's what I would be doing with this card, is making sure that, and you end with the Ace of Cups, which you could say this is kind of like the Ace of Cups, this 1 cup that's coming out here. So it kind of looks to me like there's an opportunity coming in for you. It might be love, but I really feel it's saying that it's something that you will love, like an idea, a plan, a goal, a wish, whatever. It's definitely a new beginning. 3 aces is absolutely a new beginning. And so it's definitely like a new beginning that you are being offered. I think the trick is that you accept it, that you take it and don't deny it. With the King of Swords, you have the Knight of Cups. Yeah, still could be love coming in for you. I think it's like, if it is love, it's both. You're probably getting an idea or having a new beginning, and also could be attracting love as well. So the Knight of Cups could be like a knight in shining armor. I'm pretty sure in your June reading, I'm pretty sure there was something about love in that reading. So if you want love, definitely could be a strong connection that's coming in for you. Knight of Cups is usually like a knight in shining armor, or someone who sweeps you off your feet. Could be any sign. Fire, as always, definitely stands out to me. Air also stands out, so, whatever. It could be any sign, really. The Knight of Cups is also about getting started, though. He has this water flowing in front of him. He's standing in the desert. The whole point of the Knight of Cups is that regardless of his situation, he needs to get started. Because if he plants seeds, they will grow. There's water flowing in front of him. So even though he's in the desert, he can still make something happen. And I feel like the Knight of Cups is saying that to you. I've been saying for like the last 2 years that really this is kind of the card of the time that we're in. I think we are all in a time where we have these big dreams, but we don't have the resources, or we think we don't have the resources to accomplish the goal. But really, we do. If we would just take the first steps, the universe would move out of the way. So, I think part of what people need to realize with Neptune and Pisces is that Neptune will retrograde back into Pisces this year. And Neptune and Pisces is like the universe is saying, you have this big idea. Are you going to trust that you can do it? Or do you need proof? Like, as in, do you need people to tell you that this is going to work? Or will you just do it because you feel that it will work, right? And that's it. We just have to trust our inner knowingness, or whatever you want to call it. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have the Set Boundaries card. It says, claim your power and know your value today. You have this card. It says, it's okay to be misunderstood. Perception is not always based on truth. There you go. We are definitely in a time of being misunderstood. My warning for Neptune in Aries is to not join the cult, basically. Neptune in Aries, is looking for a savior. Everybody is going to be looking for a person to have all the answers, but no one does. So the trick with Neptune in Aries is that we have to listen to ourselves and believe in ourselves, because only we have the answers. plain and frickin' simple, right? Aries is the first house. Aries is the individual, right? So it's like the self. And I feel like that's what people need to really focus on, is that going against the grain is actually going to be a good thing for people over the next 14 plus years. Not following the crowd is going to be the thing, whether you're misunderstood or not, that makes you successful. And because, again, everybody's just going to be looking for people who have the answers. And by going against the crowd and doing your own thing, you will become one of those people that has the answers. There could be a huge amount of benefits in that for you. Who knows? It could be anything. You have the Six of Swords, Four of Swords, and the King of Wands. Six of Swords, of course, is moving on to calmer shores. Definitely the readings this week have been a little bit more positive. So it seems to me like, people are moving forward. There's like progress coming at this time, which again makes sense because Aries is kind of like charging forwards and, things progressing in general. I think the summer overall is positive for people. As you've probably heard me say, I think that it is going to be like a hot summer. There could be craziness in the world, but on a personal level, I think we can make a lot of progress. So that's what I would be focusing on. You also have 2 6s here, and I love 2 6s. To me, 2 6s is kind of like confirmation for your path. It says that you're going in the right direction, you're moving the right way. So just basically saying you're doing the right things. Next, you have the Four Swords. The Four Swords can be like hoping and praying for a blessing, and the Four Swords. Like, what I feel for you is, like, let me just paint a picture for you here, Gemini. It's like, let's say you're saying to yourself, like, I wish I could just find a bag of money, right? It's like you're saying to yourself, like, I need to solve these problems in my life with money. And wouldn't it be great if a bag of money could fall off of a truck somewhere and I could just find it and it would just come into my life? The Four of Swords, I feel, he's like hoping, wishing, and praying, right? Which is very Neptune and Pisces. But the time that we're in says, with Aries, says that you can create your own bag of money, but you have to create it. And I feel like the Four Swords, I like the Four Swords. It's not a bad card. I don't think it's bad in your reading either, but I do think it is kind of saying, like, stop it. Like, you can pray and all that other good stuff. You can ask for what you want. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's kind of like, it's time to stop doing that. It's time to get up off this tomb right here, and it's time to start taking action. And that, that's what I would do with that card. You have the King of Wands, action, right? The King of Wands says action. He's like the director on the movie set that slaps the time marker thing and says action. So I feel like the King of Wands is saying action, Gemini. You are the hero of your own movie, to be cliche about it, right? But it's time to start acting like it. And I feel like that's what the King of Wands is saying for Gemini. It's time to do the things that you can say, because we have that Ace of Swords in the Strength card. Ace of Swords and Strength is your words. In your head, or even maybe you say these things out loud, there are things that you say that you can do. King of Wands says, do those things that you think you can do, or that you say that you can do, right? And, I think once you take action and prove things to yourself, things will be really good. So I would take action with that card. I do feel like some of you could have like a, King of Wands type person coming in for you. With the Six of Swords, you have the Ace of Swords. Crazy. Multiple people have had the Ace of Swords twice this week, which is weird to me, but also good. It's a very good card. So the Ace of Swords, the other thing that I will say about this card is that the Ace of Swords is kind of like very cutting. It's very matter-of-fact type of energy, and maybe that's what I'm picking up on this week for the collective, is that it's like a very matter-of-fact time. And so I would be paying attention to that matter-of-fact energy, of course. With the Four of Swords, you have the Eight of Swords. Stuck, right? Eight of Swords, she is in self-imposed prison. And the thing about the Eight of Swords is she's only seeing one way of doing things when there are many. Again, I think I said this once in a reading a while ago. It's like we need to be like MacGyver right now. We need to be able to take some chewing gum, a shoelace, and like what do you call those things? A safety pin. And we need to be able to put those things together and create something great out of it and use it. So I think we are all being asked to be like a little bit of a MacGyver right now in life, where it's like, yeah, we might not have the resources necessary to do what we want to do, but we have to find a way to piece it together no matter what. And the Eight of Swords says, if you set yourself free, if you realize there are many ways of doing things, you will be more successful. With the King of Wands, you have the Two of Pentacles. I actually feel pretty good about this. I don't look at Two of Pentacles as a bad card or anything, but it's just like an average card to me. It's kind of like a card that says work hard, play hard, which is like typical advice, and it's just like, okay, whatever. But at the same time, I do feel pretty good about this card for you. I feel like you are going to be doing both this week, like working hard and playing hard. I feel like you are going to take action on things and make things happen. So I just feel very good in general. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this accept responsibility and this face your fears card. Ooh, that's a big one right there. The face your fears card. I think everybody needs to do this as well, because like everything we want is probably on the other side of something we've never done before. I've been saying this since like 2020, that we really have to go to the other side. We have to be successful right now. We have to do the things that we're a little bit scared to do. And I'm not talking about like, things that are dangerous. I'm talking about things like, I don't know, like public speaking, or, starting a YouTube channel, or speaking up at work, or, something like that, or telling someone you love them, or whatever the case may be, right? And so, but doing those things, bravery, being brave is the thing that is going to make people very successful right now. But that's also probably why a lot of people aren't going to be successful. I think spiritually, it is kind of on us spiritual people to show people how to be brave. Pluto in Aquarius is all about being an example, a living example to other people. Like, people used to ask me all the time, like, when I answered questions, people would be like, what is my spiritual path? I'm like, well, I don't really think we have one. I think we're here to create our own reality. But during Pluto in Aquarius, if you wanted to do something that would be part of your spiritual path, it would be being an example, doing the hard things so that other people who aren't brave enough can see you do it, and then they'll do it, right? That is how we are going to improve the world right now, is by being brave. So that's what I would do. You have the Ace of Cups, the Sun, and the Two of Pentacles. Ace of Cups is your emotions overflowing, being very happy. So I think that there could be a lot of happiness coming in for you with the Ace of Cups, a lot of joy as well. Could be love. There is love here, Gemini, and I think love is always available if you want it, but I kind of feel like this reading is more about you. Ace of Cups is about getting into the flow and doing things that cause you flow. This is another thing that I'm a big fan of doing over the next 20-something years, basically. I think if people just did this, that things would get a lot better for them. So like listening to your heart, doing more fun things with the Two of Pentacles that fill your fun bucket and all that other stuff. That's like really kind of like where it's at. You have the Sun. The Sun can represent joy, happiness, peace. It's the best card in the tarot, so it makes the whole entire reading more positive. And it's coming up in the good stuff, so obviously it's good. But there could be a lot of just happiness coming in for you. The Sun also represents ease. It says that things could be getting easier. I want to say that we are definitely not in an easy time. So, are things going to be super simple? No. But are things going to be easier than they have been? Yes, probably. But again, anytime I say that, people are like, I've been sitting on my couch for the past 6 months and nothing happened. You said things were going to be easy. I'm like, you still have to do things. So, it's not that easy. It's about ease, making things easier. That's the other thing with the Sun. To me, tarot is action. We can't just look at a reading and say these things are going to happen. You have to take action on this. So with the Sun, I would be looking at how you can make things easier in your life as well. And if you do that, you will be successful. You have the Two of Pentacles again. Like I said, I feel good about the Two of Pentacles, and it is coming up in the good stuff. So Two of Pentacles, work hard, play hard, but things could just be getting, improving. With the Ace of Cups, you have the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is finally getting credit. And I'm wondering, I kind of feel that for you, Gemini, where it's I'm wondering if you are finally getting credit for work that you've done, or it's you're finally being seen for who you are. What's really weird is that this is very Piscean. Pisces is the sign that is really going to be getting credit, but I don't know. It's coming up for you, and it's you keep getting connected to Pisces with the Hangman energy. So I'm wondering if there's some sort of connection there, or who the hell knows what. But again, you could finally be getting credit for what you're doing. With the Sun, you have the Devil. A lot of toxic things are being pointed out to us right now. I would just be paying attention. If something seems toxic, it probably is. So make sure that you're not getting sucked up in, toxic things. But it is coming up in the good stuff. So, things that are toxic could be being exposed to you, and eliminate them. With the Two of Pentacles, you have the Tower. Tower in the good stuff, I wouldn't even worry about it. It's coming up in the good stuff. So this could say that you're avoiding a tower moment, or you are kind of clearing something up after a tower moment, or you could be rebuilding after a tower moment as well, because the tower, and the good stuff could just say that you are kind of like rebuilding things. Next, you have this seahorse card. It says family matters on it. A lot of people have been getting these cards of family for like months now, so a lot of people could just be doing things with family. You have this spear. It says heartache over what you no longer have. 5 of Cups, right? He is grieving the loss of those 3 cups, but there's something better behind him that is going to lead to true security. It's going to lead to that bridge and that castle. So I think it's time to like release something and, focus on what's behind you, or really it's kind of like what's in front of you if you turn around. You have this dog far away. It says a distant friend is thinking of you. Yeah, if you feel someone thinking about you, I think it's a great time to reach out. I just think it's a great time to connect with people who matter, because, I don't know. There's like a lot going on. Energy's weird. I think that, people might just need to hear from you. So if you're thinking about a person, you should probably pay attention. You have this Axe card that says force is working against you. I would just ignore it. Since we had Mars go retrograde last year in Leo, I literally said this to you last year, Gemini, that, you probably are dealing with haters, but I would just ignore it. There's nothing, there's nothing to do. You have this horseshoe. It says good luck. Yes, we have, luck. We have this card that says you are destined to succeed. So luck is definitely on your side. Plus you have Jupiter in your sign still until the middle of the month. But this looks really good, Gemini. I like this. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.